Hello, I'm
Hi.
Haley Bassing. This is the Juniper Beyond the Curtain podcast, and I'm here with a friend today.
Yeah, I'm Mandolynn Browning. I currently work in the Aztec School District. I've been doing theater my whole life, literally my whole life. Before I was working the public school system, I was designing costumes and lights professionally and traveling the U.S. It was an amazing job. Taking interim positions and assistant professorships at colleges and universities. It was a dream.
Yeah.
And now I'm here. And this is cool too.
We've been friends for a long time, and I think our first summer we worked together was 2005-ish. Were you out there that early?
Yeah, it was, let's see, Gail Dixon Wilden was directing, and it was Joseph and Technicolor Dreamcoat and Much Ado About Nothing.
Yeah. We had it in, I can never say that word correctly. Repertory?
Oh, yeah,
Is
repertory
that
theater.
how you would explain that?
In rep, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that was 2006.
Okay.
It was that next summer that they did Joseph out there. Adam Graham. Do you remember that?
Nope.
I just remember him in the coat doing the little spin thing. He was downstage dinner.
Oh.
And they all grabbed his coat and he was like, you know?
No, it was red and yellow and green. And that's what I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I got a horrific 3rd-degree sunburn that
Of course.
summer. And then they wrote it into the contract the next year that, like, if you got hurt or, like, if you were doing something stupid and it affected your ability to perform, like, you were on the line.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's me. I did that.
I am the cause of that.
Sorry.
That's awesome. I got really tan out there, though.
See, but you tan, and I don't.
It's
This is the most tan I've ever been in my whole life. I was so proud of it. It's because we went, my wife and I went to Portland a couple of weeks ago. And I think because it's, it's at sea level.
Yeah.
And so you're further away from the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the most tan I've ever been. I'm stoked.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Well, and it's a different heat. You got a little bit of that humidity. Here, we're just dry,
Which I prefer. I prefer dry heat. Being in Bloomington like 2 weeks ago was not it. I was like, oh, this is gross.
Yep.
Feels like
terrible.
I'm swimming.
Yep. Also, we went to college together. Do you want to talk about your degree?
Sure.
Your experience down at NMSU?
Yeah, I didn't know we were there at the same time.
I think so.
I think I'm oblivious.
Well, I partied a lot.
I did too. I just don't think we partied together.
Yeah.
Wasn't NMSU like one of the top 10 party schools in the nation back then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. No, so I got a full ride scholarship to NMSU for theater. I did acting and costumes, and then I completely messed up a Georgian frock coat and got unceremoniously kicked out of the costume design program. Got kicked out of those classes.
With Deb?
Yep.
Brunson?
Oh, yeah, she was pissed. And then just did the performance full time, and then got really sick my senior year and destroyed my vocal folds.
Yeah.
And so, but I did end up getting my BA in theater and not having any student loans. So that was exciting.
That's legit.
And then I got my MFA in Utah State University, also on a full ride, which was lovely. So I've never had any student loans. I'm
brag about that.
Yeah, no. And it's, you know what? I'm just really lucky. You know what
Yeah.
My wife has an insane amount of student loans. And
well, what did you do to get the full ride to NMSU? Did you, because I got a scholarship for theater for state, but at that time, they came to the state competitions.
Yes.
Which was held in Farmington
that's
just about. And mine wasn't a full ride, but it was a scholarship that got me there, because they came and scouted us in particular.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened too. But also Tim Pinot, who was a professor there at the time, he and my mom had a relation, like a collegiate relationship. Sure. My mom was the theater director at Aztec at the time, so nepotism. And no, I never got any of the roles I wanted.
Right.
Like, it was like the opposite of what people think. They're like, oh, your mom, you must get all. No.
Yeah.
I never got any of the roles I wanted. bull crud.
It's a curse.
But anyways, so he would come and do workshops with us.
Sure.
Like once or twice a year.
Yeah.
And so I think maybe just like the combination.
Yeah.
So
also you're talented. I mean, you know,
I assume so. If they gave
you
me the
put the
scholarship.
work in, and that's what got you there.
I think that was more. It was more hard work than talent, anyways.
Sure.
I can memorize lines like crazy. I can't remember some of my students' names. As soon as they're out of my classroom, they're like, "Hey, Miss B," and I'm like, "Hi, you." But like, I can remember. You know, I remember the Joseph song that I've never sung or heard again. And so memorizing lines is very easy for me. But I think the rest of it's just hard work.
Yeah.
I love to learn. And I love to improve.
Yeah.
And I still do in like every facet. It's just something that I find enjoyment in. And so, you know, I did work really hard, and I do take direction really well, and I do take constructive criticism really well because it's part of that learning and growing, which I enjoy. And so I think it was more that than anything.
Sure. Yeah.
He could be really mean to me. And he was. Like, I don't know if you remember Tim. His feedback was never like sugar-coated.
Yeah, it was never gentle.
And he would be like really direct. I'd be like, okay, cool. And like, I think he appreciated that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, and that's what it takes, is to have that tough skin, you know, and not take it personal, but you're able to apply it and get better.
Yeah.
You know, it's good. I'm not good at that. My feelings get hurt. I'm a Cancer through and through. And so you critique me and I'm like, okay. But then I feel like I do better, and I try to never make that mistake again. You know, I went to high school at Pedro Vista, and Gail Dixon Wilden was our theater teacher, and my first show running sound, I had messed something up, and she was down there, I was up in the booth, and she whipped her head up and screamed at me for whatever I had done, and then I never made that mistake again, you know, because I never wanted to feel that, whatever that was, embarrassment or disappointed, that I caused her to be disappointed. So then I learned that was my learning style. I don't know if that's good or not, but it was good for me to learn that that's how I learn, you know?
Yeah.
It's tough.
I can imagine that would have been pretty scary too, because you were a teenager.
Yeah.
Right? And so to just get, my first show, I'm hearing impaired.
Sure.
And nobody at State would ever believe me that I'm hearing impaired. Like, I have hearing aids, I just don't wear them.
Sure.
Like, because I'm also dumb. And so so they would put me on like sound for shows when I was doing my practicums. I'm like, this is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
And Mike Weiss, I loved Mike Weiss.
Yep.
Like, he's one of my favorite people in the history of my life. And I think the man must have had high blood pressure, because he was always kind of ruddy, like red. Like
yes,
ruddy,
he
ruddy,
was red.
Yeah, he was always kind of red. But he would get like upset and he would turn like purple. Do you remember that? He would just, and so, which is fine. Like, my body also shows my emotions crazy. I have a face that does not tell lies. And so I was like doing sound, and it was stressful, and I hated it. And I would always go like too early or too late. And can I cuss on this podcast or no?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So his words, not mine. Not that I don't cuss, but he like rolled his thing around. It was during a tech rehearsal, and I had done something dumb again. And he was purple. He was so angry. And he goes, Mandy, because that's what I would buy at that time. He goes, Mandy, I know this is your first show and you're trying very hard, but if you hit that button too early one more time, I'm going to cut off your fucking finger. And I went, okay.
That's awesome.
And that made an impression.
Yeah.
And I didn't get any better, though. I was just terrified the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that was so
yeah.
When adults yell at you when you're young, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like I don't want to disappoint them,
right.
You know, because I know I could do it. I know I could press that button when I'm supposed to, but I don't know, it's a lot to handle. Talk to me about some of because you touring those other theaters or those working for those other companies.
Yeah. Was
that doing costumes mostly?
Mostly. Mm-hmm.
So what was that like? Like, how did you get those jobs?
A freaking dream. No. So theater really is one of those professions that it really is all in who you know.
Yeah.
If you're a young theater artist, be likable.
Sure.
That's your goal. You want people to like you.
Yeah.
Don't make enemies. And if you do, don't let them know you hate them.
Yeah.
Like that's
very well said.
What it is. And I would say, 98% of work, because I'd work with someone at this theater, and then I'd be working another job, and they'd hit me up and be like, hey, we're doing this project. Do you want in? And I'd be like, absolutely. And, so then you fly across the country to the next place.
Yeah.
And, no, it was amazing. I loved it. I almost got to direct too, which is funny because I worked with Elise Newbert. I don't know if you know Elise.
Yeah.
Love her.
Yeah.
She was working in California, and she was like, we want you to come direct Fun Home. I'd never directed before in my freaking life.
Yeah.
I was like, you want me to what? And she was like, no, we're at this, she was the artistic director, I think, at a theater company. And she was like, and we're looking for and I think you'd be really great at directing Fun Home. And I was like, okay. Why? Why do you think I would be good at that? But I got really excited. And then, like so many artistic projects, it falls through. The money doesn't come or, whatever. So I didn't end up doing that. But yeah, that's how I got most of those jobs, is just people wanting to work with me.
Yeah.
So be likable, work hard, do your best.
Well, and that's something I try to teach in my class, are those soft skills, of being flexible and being able to rebound after somebody corrects you and make sure you don't do that again.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know. And we live in such a time that just about anything you can learn, there's a YouTube video for it, And I'm like, I could teach you this. You could teach yourself this. But here's what you should get out of this class,
I have that talk with my students, mostly at the high school, when they're complaining about school, right? And I'm like, look, you don't need school to learn. That's not what you're here for anymore. Yeah. Like, used to, it was, gate kept, and the knowledge, it was the sage on the stage, and knowledge was passed down to our elders. And you really needed teachers, and you really needed the school system in order to learn. You don't need that anymore, because you're right. There's YouTube videos, there's self-help things, there's, it's everywhere. Yeah. I changed out something in my car a couple of years ago. I am not that kind of a lesbian.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not the let me grab my toolkit and fix that. That's not who I am. But my car ran just fine until I totaled it 6 months later. And so, and I did that, through the YouTube videos and through reading about stuff online. We don't need school to teach. We need school as a safe place to experiment and fail. Yeah. And so, and that's what I tell them. I'm like, here, we're not teaching you. We're giving you the time and the space to learn. Yep. Because you're not going to do that on your own. Yeah. Kids aren't going to go learn calculus. I mean, maybe some kids, the special, you know what I mean? The really amazing few who are like, I'm going to teach myself aerospace engineering. But we're creating the atmosphere for you to learn. Yep. Giving you the time and the place. And we're giving you the opportunity to experiment with that knowledge, not just, in classroom knowledge, but social emotional learning and stuff, and fail. Yeah. Because if you tell a teacher to F off, at this point, you get lunch detention where you sit and play on your phone for 15 minutes, and that's a whole other thing. If you do that at work, you're fired. Yep. And so this is a good time to figure out who you are and figure out the world, and to apply the knowledge that you're getting in class in a myriad of different ways, before you actually have to use it where it matters. Yeah. And that's what school is now. Yeah. And, they don't care. I feel like that's a really good speech. I feel like that's a really good lesson.
It is.
And you have maybe one kid, a year, that's like, yeah. And everybody else is like, she sucks. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Because they haven't experienced the real world yet, though. Right.
Thank God, right? Yeah. No, I mean, I'm so glad that kids still just get to be kids. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not one of those people who are like, I can't wait till you're in the world and I'm like, no, stay here. Yeah. People care about you right now. Yeah. Yeah. I remember when I first left grad school, and I was teaching. And I'm a huge proponent for mental health. Everybody needs to be in therapy all the time. Sure. Huge fan. And I'm currently raw dogging life without a therapist. And this is the worst thing. But I just moved to Maryland. I didn't know anyone. The work wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Like, I totaled another car. I'm really not a terrible driver, but like my history would suggest otherwise. And so I like called up the student union. And I was like, hey, can I get in? Is there like a student counseling center? Like, is there like on campus? And they're like, yeah, what's your student number? And I was like, I'm faculty. And they were like, what are you doing calling us? Like, there's doctors in the community. And I'm like, oh, I have to go off campus. And that was like my rude awakening to the fact that nobody cares about you anymore.
Sure.
Like, you are your own support system.
Yeah.
Which is fine, right? Yeah. Like, everybody needs that kick in the pants eventually. But no, I tell kids, I'm like, no, stay here.
Yeah.
Like, that's one thing, people are like, oh, you don't have to go to college. And you don't. I really don't think that everybody has to go to college. But going to college is nice because it is like a blurry middle ground.
Yeah.
Right?
A stepping stone. You leave the nest. You're on your own, but you're not totally on your own.
And people still care about your well-being.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's still a lovely place to fail and have it not, like, ruin your whole life.
Yeah.
And so I think college is nice for that.
Yeah. But. Well, and I mean, just like going into the dorms, for me, I didn't know my dorm mate, like my roommate, or our suite mates. So those were 3 girls that I was put together with that we were forced to kind of get along, learn each other,
How'd that go?
It was good.
That's good.
It was good for me because I was the loud, obnoxious one. And, she probably learned more than I did.
You were a teacher.
Yeah.
Fabulous. You gave her those learning opportunities.
Yeah. But it's cool because I'm still friends with, I would consider us friends with one of my suite mates. She went to, I think she's in Hobbs. And I actually hit her up when I had to do getting my teaching license. We had to like interview some other teachers about how they use technology in their classroom and stuff. And I was able to just hit her up on Facebook and we had a conversation. So that was cool.
Yeah.
15 years later, 20 years later, just about to have those connections. So.
Which really just underscores the be likable, make friends.
Yeah.
Like, in more than theater in life is good.
Yeah. Well, and that's something that I've learned too is kind of your reputation, no matter what I'm doing. Like if I'm in film world or theater world, just in the community, I always strive to have to be like dependable and hopefully people think I have a good attitude and that kind of thing, because
I've only ever heard good things about you.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I've never heard anything negative.
It's funny because Connie Mack is about to start, and so I'm helping with that. And there's so many moving parts, so many different committees with it that you really have to kind of put on different hats depending on what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish with it, which is a little bit different than any of the other jobs I've had,
Yeah. I bet it's fun, though.
Yeah.
My kiddo's in baseball right now. He loves it.
Cool.
Yeah. Watching the little kids try to, like, do things is hilarious. But Connie Mac's a little older.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like 18U.
Oh.
So it's
right probably
at
not
the
as
end
funny
of
then.
There. Well, and
They're
I
not,
mean,
like, picking dandelions and dancing in the outfield.
And the game's a little bit different. So I'm helping with the operations part, and their job is almost nothing to do with baseball.
Oh.
We're kind of the in-between. So in between the like 5 o'clock game before the 7 o'clock game starts, we're there trying to get the crowd riled up, happy to be there. We're playing games on the field. And then during the game, we're putting trivia questions up on the video board. And we have the video board camera there, just like they're try to do with like major leagues.
Yeah.
So
almost
they have
like Savannah Bananas-y with like the games and the
Yeah. Just to try to get the crowd involved.
Nice.
And I feel like I'm a good person for that because I don't actually care about sports. But to me, a baseball game is a production, right? The players or the actors, we're up in the press box, the booth, kind of running things behind the scenes, making sure everything's working correctly. So I'm able to kind of apply that. Sometimes we have a script that we're trying to go off of. The announcer's saying this. When he says this, we put this on the video board. We play the sound effect.
Yeah.
That whole kind of thing. And that's kind of how I approach this job my job at Pedro Vista with Panther Vision is we're putting on a show.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing what we need to do for the athletes, but then this is for the parents and the students. Mm-hmm. We're keeping them engaged. We're dancing in the mascot. We're playing, the church clap or whatever. So people are getting involved during timeouts and halftime and stuff.
That's cool.
Very
different than sports when we were in school or when we were young.
Totally.
Which was just all about the game, very focused.
Yeah. Which is different. But, and again, I feel like that's something I have to add to that because I'm so uninterested in the actual game.
Right.
So here's for the people that aren't there for the sports. But it's still a good place to show up.
Nice.
So tell us about your job in being the theater teacher at Aztec.
Yeah, so I really am the theater teacher at Aztec.
For the whole district.
For the whole district, yeah, the entire thing. So I teach beginning theater at the middle school, which is 6th through 8th in the morning. And then I go to the high school for the first 2 hours. And then I go to the high school. And I'm endorsed in freaking way too many things.
Sure.
Because that means that they're like, oh, hey, we're thinking about doing a fax program, like home ec program, and you're endorsed, so you're teaching home ec now. And I'm like, cool. And then,
thanks.
Oh, we're scrapping home ec, but the district does want every student to graduate with a credit of communication skills. You're endorsed in that too. So now you're teaching communication skills. And I'm like, yay. And it's fun.
Yeah.
Again, learning new things all the time. So currently I teach communication skills.
Cool.
And then theater up at the high school.
Cool.
And unfortunately, just with the way that funding and the current social political climate right now, they are cutting back the arts, not just at Aztec, pretty much across the board.
Yeah.
So I am teaching more communication skills and less theater now, but
sure.
My beginning and advanced class is now being taught in the same period, and which will be fun. Maybe. I don't know.
You'll figure out a way.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then the after school tech class where we're building the sets.
Cool.
The hanging focusing lights.
Do those students
costumes.
get credit?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And if they're in my theater classes, they are it used to be if they're in advanced theater, then they have to be engaged in the after school class. We meet once a week.
Cool.
For 3 hours.
Yeah.
And it's actually really fun. But the kids like it.
Good.
For the most, it's work.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and they find their place.
Mm-hmm.
Some are really good at painting. Some are good at communicating, acting,
Yeah.
That's the best part about theater is there's a place for everybody there.
Yeah.
Regardless of who you are,
And I try to say that too. I give this little, we have assemblies at the very beginning of the school year, and part of it is introduction to the sports and the activities that kids can be involved in on campus, right? And we mostly do it for the freshmen. And I do this thing point to your funny friend. They should be in theater. Point to your friend that likes to make lists and super organized. They should be in theater.
Yeah.
And because you're right, there's something for everyone. I'm a terrible stage manager. I can't stage manage to save my life.
Sure.
It's if you don't know what a stage manager is, they're the ones that are making schedules and writing notes, and they attend every production meeting and make sure everybody's on the same page, and they're doing the call sheet, and they're the brain. They're the brain of a production. They're also the glue. I think the stage manager is the most important person.
Mm-hmm. They're the therapist.
They're the therapist. Sometimes they're the drama. Let's be real. But they're I think the most important person on a project. I would argue more important than the director.
Sure.
And I'm terrible at it. I'm horrible at it. But there are people who are I can't do theater. I don't want to be on stage. And I'm like, you don't have to.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I'm not artistic. And I'm like, great.
Yep.
Are you organized? Fabulous. I know the spot for you.
Yep.
And it's wonderful.
Well, and it's, that's something that hopefully people realize that is there's so many aspects to theater. You know, you don't have to have any of those skills, but just being organized, being able to do an Excel spreadsheet or those types of things that get you in,
Yeah.
you know, and in real world, you're doing budgeting and marketing and things that people don't necessarily think about that is part of a theater company.
Oh, totally. And I mean, there's even marketing sections of theater.
Yeah.
I currently do all of our posters for our shows, but I have ADHD, so I never make any of the marketing deadlines, and it's a real problem. I'm very cognizant of my faults. But yeah, like there is marketing. So if you like doing posters, if you like figuring out what audience members you want to come, like I would adore a student to come in and be like,
yeah,
I just want to bring people in.
Yeah.
And that would be amazing. You've got the finance and the company managers who are figuring out like, where's the money coming from? Where does it go? What about contracts? So business, all the business fields, they have a place for you in theater. Of course, we talked about stage managers, which are fabulous. But you also have like subcategories of stage managers. You have front of house managers. You've got backstage managers. You've got the ones that are up in the booth. Like you can find your niche, which is great. People who also never step foot on stage, you've got your stage hands. If you can carry something and people like you, be a stage hand. Good God.
Yeah.
Some of them make so much money.
Yeah.
Like some of them are making more money than performers on Broadway.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you sit and play cards for long stretches of time while the acting's happening. And then it is like 30 seconds to 2 minutes of absolute chaos where you're like switching out giant pieces of scenery. And then you go back, you're like, where were we at? I got 2 threes. Like, and they're making bank, right? And so you've got stage managers. You have wardrobe people. I will never wardrobe ever again. I had such a horrible experience my last time wardrobing. But we need those people, right? So if you're personable and you like working with performers, not everybody does, but if you like working with performers and you're good, being near people in various stages of undress, wardrobe, that's for you.
Yeah.
And then we have the tech, which is what you do, which is fabulous. We've got lights, we've got sound, but then you have your subcategories of tech. You have spotlight operators, you've got Foley artists, and that's, I think, one of the things that I absolutely adore about theater is it's an entire world in one production.
Yeah.
And the variety of people you get to talk to and meet and interact with and collaborate with is fascinating.
Yeah. And I think that's probably one of my favorite parts of it in general is that you build this family in those few months that you have that production, no matter how big it is, And I usually ran sound when I was doing theater, and it
See, he would have really liked to have you.
Yeah. And I loved it though, because you're back there mic taping everybody's neck and their back, and you build these relationships with them, and you're able to laugh and tell stories and meet these people that have just such different perspectives, and like that's the best part of every day,
Totally.
Because then once the show starts, you're like stressed out, you're following your script, you're making sure, but it's all that like from the time you clock in until the show starts that is good.
Yeah.
And Farmington is maybe not Farmington, the area. I've been real fortunate to I ran sound for Rocky Horror Picture Show for, I don't know, 6 years or so. And so meeting Elise up there, I think that's where we
I think
worked
she was
together
Columbine
at some point.
point.
Oh, sure.
Right. That's the one that tap dances. Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not a good gay.
I'm like, yeah, that character's in that movie, but whichever one it is, you know what I mean? I'm not, right. I'm the worst at that.
It's not a movie that I enjoy a lot.
Did you do Grease?
No. No.
When did you come back?
To Sandstone. So, I came back and worked Annie Get Your Gun. I was in Annie Get Your Gun. I was also in They Lit Me on Fire in Annie Get Your... Actually, you were there. I think you were a part of that. Somebody tripped over the firework backstage.
No, that was Cian. And you guys had all that flash paper? I wasn't there that
Dude.
summer. I came for the show, but I wasn't. I didn't work out there.
No, I got lit on fire. And I tell people this story, and every time I do it, I'm like, that was like the stupidest thing. Cause yeah, I was in the ensemble, and I'm tall, right? And so I'm always the one in the back. I'm always the one at like, the pinnacle of whatever's happening. And so, in Sandstone, you've got the big rock on stage left.
Yeah.
And the little like
platform.
Zigzaggy stair platforms.
Oh,
that
yeah,
go up
yeah.
And so we ran out, and we had our balloons, and we had our little pins, right? 'Cause she was supposed to be like shooting our balloons. And I'm at the very top because I'm tall. And so I'm at the very top. And, we're holding our balloons and our pins, and we're like doing a little, and, it was supposed to fan. It was like the fan fireworks.
Sure.
And it had worked every night, and it hadn't been a problem, but someone, I don't know who, tripped over the canister that like held the firework backstage, and then it set it up right, but like it was tilted.
Sure.
And so I popped my balloon. I'm the last one to pop my balloon.
Yeah. And
immediately I got hit between the shoulder blades, and I can see, right, the fireworks. And I'm like, that's never happened before. And also, ow. But luckily, we were wearing these pink, like, acetate little, saloon girl outfits. Yeah. And I had this huge blonde Dolly Parton wig on.
Sure.
And it was also plastic, right? And so I didn't get burned at all.
Yeah.
Even though I got, like, full-on...
annihilated by the...
on fire. No, I was on... there were flames. Hails. Like, there were... But it melted my wig to the dress.
Sure.
And it made, like, a little shell. Like, I was fine.
Saved your life.
Yeah, I had bruising, which was weird.
Yeah.
But, the wig was on fire. And everybody else ran down the front of the thing like they were supposed to and back out. And I just booked it off back. And I was like, I'm dying. Like,
someone save me.
And then some people acted like I was a super diva for this. And at the time I was like, oh no, I'm making a bad impression. Oh no, they'll never work with me again. But as an adult, like empowered, right? I'm like, oh no. I was well within my rights.
Yeah.
I made them walk with me back there at intermission every night to prove that the firework holder was not going to try to
that's valid.
murk me again.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah, so that was fun. And that's when I met Ben Matson.
Okay.
And now he's working in Durango.
Yeah, he's the theater teacher
there. And so that's fun. And wonderful.
Yeah.
And again, just, working with people and then having them show up and the rest. Because he was like from New York or something. He got brought in special.
Yeah. He knew, I think, Teresa Carson. They had worked together somewhere.
I miss Teresa.
And just like you said, who you know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how he got here, and it's changed the course of his life. He's living in Durango, Colorado now.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think drew you to theater? You grew up in it because of who your mom was?
I literally learned to walk on stage.
Yeah.
Because my mom, she did theater down in Las Cruces. She worked with Mark Medoff really closely. She went with him to...
R.I.P.
Huh? Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah. She went with him to L.A. for a while. And then she decided LA was scary, and so then she came back to New Mexico and became a theater teacher. And so, I literally learned to walk on stage. I took naps in the theater, when I was going to school here in Aztec. The bus would drop me off, and she would be in rehearsal. And so I'd go and do my homework, like, in the back of the theater while the rehearsal was happening. And so it was really just a matter of, like, when.
Sure.
Yeah. I know that it, like, growing up, people wanted me to be a doctor. I got accepted into medical school and didn't go. And I had the GPA to do a lot of different things. And had a pretty robust resume even then. And so theater, I got the full ride though. And I was like, well, I'll just take advantage of this.
Sure.
The money.
Yeah.
until I figure out what I want to actually do. And then I'll do that thing. And so I took an insane amount of like breadth courses. I took agricultural animals of the world, human sexuality. Like I took in like astronomy. Like I was like, what do I really want?
Sure.
You know, because I just grown up in the theater and that's what I did.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to figure out, and I didn't want it. I didn't like anything more than I liked theater. And when I was younger, I felt really bad, you know, because people are like, I love the theater. And I knew from this point that this is what I needed to do. And I didn't have that.
Yeah.
I think it's like people who are converts to a religion and then people who grew up in the religion.
Yeah.
Right? Converts always have more interesting stories.
Yeah.
Right? And, but I never loved anything more than what I was doing. And then, you know, and then I really got into costume design at USU and away from the stage. And I also think the stage can be really toxic.
Sure.
I know I was fat shamed like crazy.
Sure.
And I wasn't even this big. I like look back at pictures of, you know, when I was doing stage theater regularly and I'm like, I mean, I was a little chubby.
Yeah.
But like, that was fine.
Yeah.
But, you know, but I've had costume designers tell me that and I'm like, why would you tell someone this? Like, tell me that they tried to get the director to not cast me because I didn't have a body for the 1930s.
Dang.
And I was like, there were fat people in the 1930s.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Okay.
Yeah. How weird.
And then, you know, I have autoimmune diseases. Like, I do tend to get sick. And just people being like, you know, you're not working hard enough. And I'm like, I'm doing the best I can. Yeah. I tried to drop out of a project really early. Because I was like getting hospitalized. I had like a lot of lung stuff that was happening. It was a musical. And I was like, I'm not doing well. Yeah. And you can like plenty of time to get someone else in here. And I was told they would blackball me in the area if I dropped. Dang. And so, like, I don't know. I just feel like the stage can be pretty toxic. Yeah. I think we're getting away from that, right?
Yeah, I think society in general is changing from some of those traumatic things that were happening 20 years ago.
Regularly.
Yeah.
Regularly. Yeah. And I'm also allergic to nicotine and was playing Harper from Angels in America. And at this point, at no point have I ever done drugs. And so had no way to like figure out, but realized I was allergic to nicotine fairly early on in my college career. And it did kind of give me cause like when you don't get oxygen, your brain does funny things. Yeah. And so, I had a director have me go like outside and just like chain smoke. Sure. And then come in and do my scenes. Which is insane. Yeah. It's insane. And I was just like, okay, because you're young and you're like, this is what it is.
This is the way you do it.
This is how theater works, I guess. And now, like, as a person who is responsible for the well-being of young, like, thespians, I'm like, good God. My kids talk about method acting, and I'm like, you shut your mouth. Yeah. Like, we do not method act here. And so, like, I don't know. But I'm so glad that it's changing. But then, anyways, I got into costume design and figured out that was what my love was. Yeah. I adore everything about working in costume shops. And working with performers, but not having to be one. Yeah. And working with directors, but being able to, like, sidestep sometimes. Yeah. Because you're not, like, being micromanaged, right? French alterations. And, and just, you know, things like that. And that was wonderful. And so that's really been what's kept me through. Then, you know, COVID was rough on everybody. Yeah. And I think the theater was starting to get back on its feet, you know, throughout the U.S. and probably the world. I don't know. I'm not great at, like...
Yeah, world views on it.
Yeah. But then now we have the current, like, removal of funds for the arts, and that's always hard. But the thing I also love about theater is that we are freaking scrappy. Yeah. Like, we make theater with cardboard boxes and paint that got left out from somebody's house project. Yep. Like, we're scrappy. Yeah.
I don't think
it'll endure.
Theater will ever go away.
No.
And it may change. But it's so hard to the advancement in technology, like as far as Broadway, even here locally, is just mind blowing.
Yeah.
You know, they're pulling off effects and doing things with their set that you could only ever dream of.
Yeah.
But now it's there. It's digital. It's a wireless signal floating through the air, and they're making stuff work, you know?
Yeah, we got to see Dear Evan Hansen at the International Thespian Festival a couple weeks ago. And their set is almost entirely digital. I would say that
like projection,
85%. Yeah,
TV
projection
mapping,
TV. Projection mapping. There we go. And TV screens. They had like furniture, but everything else was so cool.
Yeah. You're good.
Yeah. The thing I'm worried about is AI. And I know that AI is like a hot button topic. You have people that are like, no, it's a tool. And I'm like, sure. But it's also one that you got to use responsibly, maybe. And I would really love it if it wasn't like fucking up our water. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Especially since we live in New Mexico and we don't have a lot of it. And they're building a lot of the centers here. And I'm like, Florida has water. Why?
Yeah. Why are you posting up in the desert?
Yeah. And so, but yeah, AI is one that I'm worried about. And I'm not worried about like it changing theater. That's not what I'm worried about. I'm worried about it eliminating positions within the theater.
Yeah.
And, you know, anytime that, you know, job security is in an already not super stable, you know, profession.
Yeah.
I feel like it's cause for concern.
Yeah. And there's so many things, and where do you draw the line between AI and just automation in general?
Right.
You know, we've already replaced the guy backstage running the fly up and down with beep boop. You program this computer and it does the thing for us.
Yeah.
You know, like where do you draw that line between a computer programmer versus an actual person doing that? With your light designs, I'm sure there's AI out there that says, here's how you hang a wash. Put these lights in the front, these lights on the side, and put them at this percent and this angle. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
or
when does it stop being a tool?
You have the ones that like they carry the little
the little tracker
carries the tracker, and it just. And you know, I can see in theaters where you don't have the personnel.
Sure.
Right? That's really nifty. If you don't have someone to come run spots.
Yeah.
Like, sure, that can be really lovely. But I think the theaters that can afford those.
Yeah. They're not the ones hurting.
They're not the ones hurting to find personnel to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's rough.
We'll see. And we'll see where, as like playwriting goes. You know, I have students all the time in my classroom use AI, and then it spits out these really intricate scripts that they have no idea what it's even saying. And then they're like, how do we film this? And I'm like, well, you put that in the trash and then you go and write your own script.
Yeah.
Of stuff that you know, you can visualize it. Like that's part of what I'm trying to teach you in this class is how to go from here to here, typing essentially. But this is why we don't use AI, because it's too much.
And the kids, and I know from talking at least to the students that engage me in conversation about AI, right, is that they're really focused on the product, right? Well, it gives me the product. I don't actually care about the product that much, right? I get that AI can give me a better script. You know, I do script writing in my classes too. A better script, a better essay, a better, you know, whatever, than what you could probably do if you like took the same amount of time, right? Like the 2 seconds it takes for ChatGPT to do something for you.
Yeah.
I'm less worried though about that product. My focus is the process.
Yeah.
Of getting there, because will these kids ever write another script once they graduate? Maybe, probably not, right? Yeah. Like in my intro classes, probably not.
Yeah.
And so I don't care that they know how to write a script more than I care that they know how to take ideas and create stories.
Yep.
Or understand when something like the character development is incorrect, or, something feels off. Well, that's probably because you've set up this character to be like this sweet, naive, like shy person. Now you have them screaming at the antagonist. So,
yeah.
And so, like, that's what I care about because, creative problem solving, critical thinking, creativity in general, those are not things that we are inherently born with. They're skills you develop.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're just looking at end products and, they turned in an end product, I'm just going to grade this end product, that hasn't developed any of those things.
Yep.
And those are the things that are going to help them outside of writing a script.
Yeah.
And so that's, I think we focus too much on, AI writes a better paper or AI doesn't write a better paper. And I'm like, I don't actually care about the paper.
Right.
I care that they don't know how to write.
Yeah. Period. To spell. These kids, man, they're all, and they talk into their phones. And I'm like, you literally don't know how to spell any of that.
No.
What are we doing?
And like they type on the computer, they have the little green and red squiggle lines underneath. And I'm like, that's telling you did this wrong. Yeah. Please click on it. Yeah. Because I can't spell either, but that's why I use tools.
Yep.
Like the spell check. Yeah. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's just a lot of apathy too. They don't feel like they need school, and so they don't care about how they do in it.
Yeah.
And this isn't universal, right? I have kids who absolutely care.
Sure.
But just, talking with the kids where I'm like, why are you not doing anything? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm not going to use this. And I'm like, okay, but you are going to use your brain.
Right.
And right now it's still smushy. You don't want smushy brain.
Yeah. Forever. Well, have you seen Toy Story 5?
I don't like toys coming to life. Every Toy Story movie is a horror film for me.
Like Chucky?
I don't. No. We got to the scene in the first Toy Story where, and I know that the toys don't end up being the villains. I know the toys are just misunderstood. But we get to the Sid toys in the first movie, and I noped out. I was like, no, thank you. And and just the idea that like toys come to life. We did the Velveteen Rabbit.
Okay.
And the whole time, and it's a cute story, right? And I still use excerpts from the Velveteen Rabbit for like my intro classes. They do monologues and stuff. But the whole time I'm like,
y'all.
At any time when that kid had scarlet fever, that rabbit could have shoved his little velvet rabbit paws down that kid's throat and just ended it.
I love it.
So no, I haven't. Have you seen the latest Toy Story?
Yeah, and that's the thing. And like, because they introduced the tablet. Little Bonnie, she's 8 years old. She gets a tablet because all of her friends have a tablet. And then they shame her for playing with toys still and having an imagination. And that's part of the film is they do this different animation style when we're in her imaginary story. Because she's like, burr, 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 with this character. And so then they're playing it out on the screen. And we're able to see that. And then she goes and hangs out with those friends that they're only on their tablets. And we never go into that world of imagination.
Oh, yeah.
And that's exactly what you're talking about is you want kids to learn how to imagine something in their head and then play it out in paper.
Mm-hmm.
And being on the tablet using AI, we're completely eliminating that step where these kids are thinking of a story. These two people, what's the conflict? How do they resolve it? How do we get there? Till the end of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not doing that.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, it's scary.
I worry for the next group of adults. And I want to be very clear, I don't blame them for any of this.
Sure.
We did it. Yeah. This is our fault.
Yeah.
We have created this atmosphere that really devalues education, and this atmosphere that everybody's opinion is the same weight.
Yeah.
Like carries this, Trisha on her, Facebook group has the same background in vaccines.
Right.
That, Dr. blah, blah has, yep. Right? Like, we did this.
Yeah.
We did this.
Sure.
And so I'm not blaming kids for any of it, but I do worry for them.
Yeah.
That, uneducated people are easier to manipulate.
Yeah.
Uneducated people are easier to control. Uneducated people are easier to fraud. If you can't read a contract, how do you know that it's a fair contract?
Right.
If you can't creatively problem solve your way out of a situation, then you are at the mercy of the people who it benefits to have you in that situation.
Yeah.
I really feel like the state of our thinking around education, the state of education, is a human rights issue, because the rich will always be able to educate their children.
Sure.
We have the creators of Apple saying, I won't let my kids and my grandkids or whatever have iPhones.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, when the creators of technology are saying they're not allowing their own kids to use technology, we should take notice of that.
Yeah.
And so that's my worry, is that we are setting up future generations to be worse off than we are.
Yeah.
And when we are still fighting so hard for our own well-being, like that, I don't know. Yeah. Sorry, that's my soapbox. I get passionate about that. I'm sorry.
No, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, I don't know. And I don't know, has theater changed in that way? Like, people since the beginning of time has used theater to tell their story and tell that perspective.
That's another reason I love theater.
We call it this character and this character instead of the government and education. You know what I mean?
So I don't know who said this quote. I don't think anybody knows who said this quote, and I'm probably butchering the quote. But I do love it, right? Sure. It's the thing that keeps me coming back over and over and over again. That theater is the truest way for one person to show another what it is to be human. And I love that. Yeah. I also love the quote, and I'm sure somebody knows who said this one because it's more recent. But theater is not a mirror to reflect society upon itself, but a hammer with which to smash it. And I love both of those quotes for different reasons. Yeah. And I don't think every piece of theater fits both simultaneously. Yeah. Right? I think that it goes back and forth. I think theater is important. I think telling stories are important. And I think telling stories of people you don't understand is important.
Sure.
I think there's a lot to be said about, I've been talking a lot about tech theater. I'm going to talk about performance now. That there's a lot to be said about embodying a character that you don't like. It takes empathy to act well. Yeah. I don't have to like the character, but I do have to empathize
you have to
with where they're coming from.
Yep.
Because if you're playing a character that you yourself cannot stand, you're not going to do that well, right? Yeah. You have to find something. You have to find some common ground. So even if this character is doing horrible things, if you can pinpoint, they're doing it because they're afraid, and you can empathize with the fear and know I've done crappy things when I was afraid. Yeah. Like, then there's, and I'm not saying we have to, be malleable and be like, oh, you know what? This horrible character that, murders people, they're fine. That's not what I'm saying. Yeah. But I am saying putting yourself in someone else's shoes, literally, once you get into costume, gives you a lot of social emotional intelligence for just being able to meet someone on a common ground in real life. Yeah. Not only that, but I think it also helps you hone your own sense of morality, your own sense of ethics, the own sense of who you are. Yeah. By being like, I can empathize with this character. I can understand where they're coming from. It's still bad. Yeah. And now if I'm in a similar situation, I won't do it that way. Yeah. I think it's great. I think telling stories specifically that aren't stories from the area that you're in helps audiences too. Yeah. Where I've gotten in trouble, not in trouble. I've had some snide remarks from the community about, shows I've done in the past. I've been accused of trying to brainwash children into socialism, which is hilarious because the play had nothing to do with socialism. I was like, you could accuse me of a lot of things, but that was a reach. That was a reach. But it's just because I don't think that we should do theater that makes us comfortable all the time. Yeah. Obviously, most of the time, you're not wanting to, and especially with kids who are impressionable, you're not wanting to, throw them into, this crazy, uncomfortable situation. Yeah. But I do think it's important to interact with art that makes you uncomfortable. And it doesn't have to be like you have to believe this way now, but maybe because it made you uncomfortable, you can feel more secure in your own belief system.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine too.
Here's some insight into another perspective.
Right.
Whatever the situation is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's important. And I realize there are plays that I love that, of course, we will never do in the public school system, which is, is fine. We can do the Velveteen Rabbit again, and I can have nightmares. And I'm excited for our next project. We're going to do, I think, I'm almost positive, don't hold me to this, but we're going to do Mariposa Butterfly.
Okay.
And it's these two neighbors. One only speaks Spanish, one only speaks English. And they have like a rivalry because of their gardens. And then I'm super stoked because it's going to be like almost puppet theater. It's not going to be almost puppet theater. It's going to be puppet theater. But there's a caterpillar that like starts going back and forth and then becomes a butterfly. So then they start arguing over whose butterfly it is.
Sure.
Depending on whose garden it's in.
Yeah.
And then it just, it's these two neighbors that like are feuding. And the fact that one only speaks Spanish, one only speaks English isn't really a part of the play. It's these two neighbors that are feuding and trying to one-up each other and trying to take ownership over something that has no business being owned. It's a butterfly. It doesn't belong to anyone, right? But then through this like thing, they become friends and they find common ground.
Yeah.
And it's lovely. It's the one that we're going to take to State Thespians. So
cool.
That'll be really fun. I'm excited. I've got some Spanish-speaking students in class, which is great because I don't. I have enough to get myself in trouble.
Right.
And it was actually one of my students who found the play and was like, this is a great play. And I love it when kids, feel empowered to like.
To bring something up to you.
Yeah.
Totally.
And so that's wonderful. And I was like, cool, you're going to have to help me though, because I don't know how to pronounce most of these words. And he was like, no, I'm on it. And so I think that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm sure I'm going to get some backlash.
Sure.
For this play, and I'm willing to take the heat on it. The kids seem to be really excited for it. Yeah. And, it's one that might make the community have to think a little bit. And I'm okay with that.
Well, that's sometimes why we do it.
Right.
Art
shouldn't be comfy all the time.
Yeah.
Dang. Monets are great, but so is some other things.
Yeah.
Frida Kahlo. Wonderful.
When is State this year?
It's in November.
Cool.
It's in mid-November, which I appreciate.
Down in Las Cruces again?
In January. No, it's going to be at Volcano Vista High School.
Cool.
Yeah.
I saw an email come from Melissa, but I haven't clicked on it yet.
Oh. I
was like, I'll worry about that in August.
Yeah. Although, I'm on the board.
Yeah.
And that email probably includes 2 links to 2 different forms that I would love if you filled out. I would love if everyone would actually open that email and fill out those forms because we need the information going into planning for State. So,
yeah. Cool. Tell us about International Thespian Festival.
Yeah, so it was a lot, and I mean that in a positive way, right? Sure. But it was a huge learning experience. It was a lot. The last time I went was in like 2012, maybe. Okay. I went as a chaperone, and before that, I only went as a student. And all those times it was in Lincoln, Nebraska. Yeah. And so this is the first time that I had gone as like the boss.
Sure.
Which is not as fun as going as a student. I'm going to say that right there. I mean, I had a great time, right? I'm not trying to bash the festival. It was lovely. It was just, I have anxiety. And so it was a lot. Yeah. But no, it was great. It's so many workshops, which I think is like the real.
Yeah, that's why we go.
Yeah. The competitions are great. And having students be able to see other student competitors and to see their work and then to see like which of those made it to get superiors. Yeah. And so then they can, use that as a benchmark. I think that's really valuable. I think that's really lovely. Having them have the opportunity to present their stuff because they work so hard on it. Yeah. Right. And so giving them that opportunity, I think is absolutely wonderful. But to me, the real like meat of going to these festivals are the workshops, right? Yeah. These learning opportunities and networking. And that's what I tell the kids too. I'm like, the instructors of these workshops are working professionals. They're also professors at colleges, you know? So go to the workshops, do
go
well,
introduce yourself,
be likable, and make friends. And then make friends with other people from other troops because, you know, they might call you up and be like, hey, we want you to direct Fun Home in California.
For real.
And so that was phenomenal. And getting to see the main stage shows was always the high point. We saw oh my gosh, we saw Come From Away, which I had never read or seen. I'd heard a song from it, I think. But I loved Come From Away. It's one of my new favorite musicals. The young woman who had like the pilot role was amazing. I think she was like the best vocalist there. And they were all amazing, right? So like that's a high bar. But she was phenomenal. I loved that place so much. And then we saw Shrek, which was real cute. It was lovely. We saw Suffs, which is about the American suffragette movement.
Cool.
And is based on like historical accounts and stuff, and it has like historical people in it. Lovely, wonderful. And then I saw Night Witches, which is about the female pilots, Russian female pilots during World War II.
Dang. Who
were in their little wood and canvas airplanes and would drop bombs on the Germans. And that was really cool. They had some really fun tech in that show. Like showing like how the bullet holes like showed up in the airplanes was really interesting.
Cool.
I love combining lights and set and lights and costumes. And then we saw Dear Evan Hansen, which was phenomenal. And all of it was wonderful and lovely. I am annoyed though that we are not teaching students proper theater etiquette. And they're like screaming and shouting while the songs are happening. That gets me. I felt like the old curmudgeonly person that was like, back in my day, we had respect. But I was so frustrated. Like, I'm sure that was a lovely note. Unfortunately, I couldn't hear it. Like,
is that changing though? Like, is that going to be a common thing that we don't just sit there and...
I mean, I think so. I think audience participation, unsolicited audience participation is becoming more of a thing. And I think there's a happy medium, right? Like, sure, hoot, holler, like clap, yell, whatever, during scene changes.
Right.
Right?
At curtain call.
Or even just like at the end of the song.
Sure.
But when somebody like starts singing it was like they would start the belt. And then all of a sudden you could not hear them anymore. And I'm like, that would be like going up to someone who's painting, right? A painting that you really love. And going, that's amazing. I love it. And then just start throwing your own paint. Just like, this is so good. I love this painting so much. And it's like, that's disrespectful.
Yeah.
And also, as someone with a hearing disability, I'm like, rude.
Cool.
Rude. I know this isn't about me, but rude. But yeah, no, it was phenomenal. And the people running, I mean, that's such a huge event.
Yeah.
Right? Like that is a huge stinking event. There was 5,000, I think, students there this time.
It's awesome.
It was an insane number of people. And so like organizing that size, you know, and there was some, you know, hurdles, there were some bumps in the road. We had some stuff with our housing, but like, I can't imagine putting on an event that large. Go them.
Yeah.
Fantastic. We did have a tornado warning our first night, which has nothing to do with the event, you know, organization. But just one of those things
life experience for
and
you
my
and
kids
your
were
students.
terrified. Right. Well, they did usher us. We were in the athletic complex. And then all of a sudden they were like, okay, so we're all going down to the basement. We were like, all right. And so I found my kids down in the basement. It was one of those things that the adults were doing something while the kids were doing something. So I found them. And we went down into the basement, and my kids are freaking out.
Sure.
Right? And I'm like, here's the thing, guys. We live somewhere with no weather. It's sunny most of the time.
Yeah.
It might get a little windy sometimes. It'll rain if we're lucky. The snow if we're extra, extra lucky.
And we're in a constant fire warning.
And the only thing that we have to worry about is fire, and we do have to worry about fire. But here they have weather.
Yeah.
This is normal. Like, this isn't something to freak out about. Do you see all the people that are from here that are not freaking out?
Right.
Be like them. Like, you know, and in the back of my head, I'm going, please don't let us all die.
Yeah.
Like, it would suck if I took kids across the country and then lost them to wind.
That's awesome.
But yeah, no, it was great. It was a good time.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Did your students compete?
Yes. I had 5 students qualify at the state level.
Sure.
One of them moved to Farmington right after state, which was really sad and unfortunate for us because great kid.
Yeah.
And then, so I took the 4 that remained, and then the one that went to Farmington, actually Farmington took them. So that was really cool. We got to hang out with them some up there. So I had 2 costume design students, a set design student, and a props construction student. And they all compete. They all got excellence, which is wonderful. It goes like fair, good, and then there's a big leap, and then it goes excellent, superior. Cool. And so
good.
Yeah, they did great. I was very proud of them.
Are you going to go next year?
That's a question. I don't know. The fundraising this year was crazy. It's so expensive. Yeah. And next year it's going to be even more expensive because it's not in Bloomington next year. It's happening in Louisville. And it's not like we got like an all-inclusive package, right? When we did registration, it was insanely expensive, but you got room, you got 3 meals a day, like along with getting to actually participate in the festival. And so it was worth it, right? We didn't have to find hotels. We didn't have to, and we were on campus. There wasn't like transportation that needed to happen. Although we did have a student who needed accommodations, and they did have transportation accommodations available, which was nice. And so next year, it's not happening on a campus. It's happening in downtown. So you are going, you're doing different things. Meals are not included. Hotel is not included, but they are requiring us to stay at one of the 5 host hotels. Sure. But, you know, looking at their prices, rates, it's a lot. So I don't know. That's sure. I don't know. I would love to go. I would love to take the entire troop and go every year. Yeah. It's just all.
Yeah. Yeah, it depends on a lot of factors.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you know how PV did?
Yeah. They had a student get a superior. Cool. At least one student get a superior. Everybody else got excellence. Talking to Tyler.
What about Farmington High? You said they went?
They went, and I think their students got excellence. They took 2.
Cool.
Well, only one competed, the one that went from me. So, and they got an excellent. Cool. So, yeah. Good. Yeah, it's going, yeah. Overall, I think New Mexico, we represented well. Good. At the festival.
What, were there other schools from New Mexico?
Albuquerque Academy. Cool. Took a crud ton of kids. And one other school. I don't remember which one. Sure. Yeah.
There's surprisingly a lot of schools in New Mexico that have pretty strong theater programs.
Yeah, that's why we keep having to move the festival, the State Thespian Festival, around, because we keep getting more and more attendees and outgrowing the venues. Good. Which is wonderful. Yeah. Also, so that people don't have to drive super far every festival. Across. We will always have to drive, because I don't think they'll ever have it in Farmington ever again, is the feedback that we've gotten from other people in the state. But, so we will have to drive. But, yeah, no, it's good.
We're used to it.
Yeah.
What current
And now
projects...
that I've taken kids on planes, buses is not a problem.
Yeah, that's real. I luckily haven't had that opportunity to take kids on planes.
You know, it really wasn't as bad. The working up to it was not fun.
Sure.
But the actual, like, doing it was not bad.
Good.
Yeah.
You didn't have kids show up in, like, chains and stuff when they had to go through security?
No, I threatened them pretty heavily.
Good.
And set out, like, almost constant stream of communication with them and families of, like...
That's what it takes.
Yeah.
Like, nonstop.
Mm-hmm.
Texting.
And their families are great. Like, the kids who went, their families are very supportive.
Good.
Yeah. On point. I'm lucky that way.
What are some projects you're working on right now?
So getting ready for the upcoming school year is a big one. Usually in the summertime I go work professionally, and I didn't this year. And so I've had a lot of downtime. I've been writing a few scripts here and there. I don't know if you know the story. It was on Reddit. It was like a compilation story, The God of a Repo.
Okay.
I will never miss an opportunity to tell people to read The God of a Repo. I read it and cry every single time, like every single time. And so I've been using that as like a foundation. I've got a lot of material that's sort of based off of similar, not that story, obviously, because that's like intellectual theft.
Sure.
But like it inspires a lot. I'll sum it up. This guy builds a shrine at the edge of his field so that a god will come in and will bless his field. And a god moves in. The god's like, I'm not the god of anything special. Like, I'm the god of the changing of the leaves and the skin of an apple as it yields beneath your teeth and the worms churning in the earth and a million tiny nothings.
Sure.
I'm not anything special. And the guy's like, cool, I didn't think I'd get a god at all, so this is fine. And so, like, he worships and he brings sacrifices, and the god's like, I don't know why you keep doing this. Like, the god's really self-deprecating, right? And I'm like, you're a god. Like, what are you?
Yeah.
Already, you have to have some sort of ego.
Yeah.
But he continues to do it, and they become friends, you know. And then famine comes, and the god's like, I can't do anything. I'm so sorry. And he's like, we'll survive. Sorry, but the wheat's a little sad this year. Here you go. And then the storm comes, and it's the same thing. The god's like, I can't do anything. But it's just the act of being there and like letting a repo like have faith in something.
Sure.
Right. And then war comes. And Arepo's family dies, and he comes crawling into the shrine, and he's bleeding, and the god's like, I can't do anything, I'm so sorry, I can't do anything. And he's like, tell me again what you're the god of. And he like lists the stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, it was beautiful, it was all so beautiful. And he dies in the arms of his god. Right? And it's really lovely. And then somebody else added onto the story that somebody else stumbles upon the shrine like hundreds of years later and is like, this poor god, your last priest's bones are here. Like, I wonder what this was like. And the god's like, I can tell you about him. And like shares the story. And she's like, and he's like, I'm the god of nothing. And she goes, no, it sounds like you were the god of something very important. You were the god of a repo. And I was like, oh my God, see, I can't. I'm a weenie. I cannot. And so then, and then someone else added on. I love that too, right? Like,
yeah.
I think it's very theatery too, to just like keep the story going. And then somebody else added on, and it's a long time later, and the god's still in a shrine, and like nobody really believes in gods hardly anymore, and so he's just there, and people don't like come to him at all. And then all of a sudden, there's a repo's there, and he's like, hey, and he's like, oh my gosh, what are you doing here? And he's like, I'm the god of friendship and connection and joyful abundance of like blah 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 blah. And he's like, and the god's like, oh wow, so you must be headed to like the temples in the city where people still worship. And he's like, and he's like, or a mountaintop, you know, so that people can go and wander at the beauty and have you there. And he's like, and he's like, what? Where are you gonna go? And he's like, well, if it's cool with you, I'm gonna be right here. And the god's like, why would you be here? And he's like, because I'm the god of loyalty and joy and people and friendship.
Yeah.
And you're the god of a repo. And like, that's how it ends, right? And so there's just so much there to inspire.
Yeah.
And so I've been using that as like the seed, like the little nugget. And like, I had my kids write plays based off. I was like, you can pick a theme or a character or a moment. And I want you to write a 10-minute play based off of, you know, the story. And their plays were really fun. And some of them I was like, what does that have to do? I don't know. I was like, okay, cool. I'm just glad you wrote. Yeah. So, but I've been using it as like little things. So I've got little projects going, writing projects going off of that. Cool. I have my art. I'm doing art lessons. Shameless plug.
What type of art?
For beginners and intermediates, I'm doing like drawing lessons or watercolor. Cool. Really just whatever the client wants. And we'll use my materials, and they get to take their art home at the end. And so, cool. You know,
like they're going to your house?
Extra money.
Are you going to their house?
I would prefer not to have it in my house, but we can.
Sure.
No, I was thinking I live pretty close to a community center.
Yeah.
And so having lessons there.
Yeah.
For children or adults, although if there's children going to be present, I would like them to have a trusted adult.
Sure.
Keep everybody.
Yeah, you're not a babysitting service.
Well, that and safety.
Yeah.
Right? And so there's that. I've been doing art for people. I've had some commissioned pieces.
It's cool.
I'm pretending to write a novel.
Yeah.
I've got all of
what does that look like?
Well, I have all the ideas. I'm super passionate and like super excited about it. And I've got pages of like character development and, plot, and like I've got little moments sort of outlined. But I sat down to actually write it, and I didn't like my own writing style, right? I don't normally do. I write poetry. I write plays. I don't write novels, and I read a lot of books, but I don't write books. And I just don't like my own writing style, and I guess I could work hard to improve it, but I'm working hard in so many other areas. I'm like, no. So
Sure.
I really just want to bundle up all this work I've done for this book. I think is going to be really cool, and I just want to give it to someone and be like, you write this
Fix
now.
it.
Like,
Yeah.
I need you to write the whole story, but I reserve the right to tell you to redo it.
Yeah.
Or like fix it in the way that I want it done.
That's funny.
And this is when I understand why people have ghostwriters.
Sure.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Although now we have AI, so why do you need a ghostwriter?
Really? Just feed it to AI and say, do it in this style, and it would.
That's an idea. I might have just become an AI comper. No, I'm just kidding. That would be terrible. Yeah. So.
Cool.
Yeah, a lot of little things.
I want to see a partnership with you and Jeremy Orr's class.
I do too. We
know?
do too. We talk about it every year, and then our classes are not taught in like the same like blocks.
Yeah.
Except for this year, it actually was going to be taught in the same block, but then I had students who were like, I can't do both, and I was like,
Yeah.
And he's lovely. I love Jeremy. And he was like, oh, no, we can change what hour I'll teach that so that these students could do both.
Cool.
Which he's amazing. Yeah. He's like one of the unsung heroes of San Juan County. I love Jeremy.
Yeah, he's been a part of a little bit of everything for a long time.
He's wonderful.
It's cool.
I remember when he first came and started teaching at the high school. I was a student, which is funny because he doesn't look that old.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's your secret, man?
Yeah.
But his first year was my junior year, I think.
Sure.
And we had Amanda Pajek, and I don't know if you knew Amanda.
Mm-mm.
She's so smart. She was the valedictorian of her class. So smart, so creative.
Yeah.
I think she's a book editor
Cool.
in New York. The last time I Facebook stalked her, I'm pretty right. Here, Amanda.
Got this great idea.
I know what I'm doing after this. No, and so she wrote a script and she wanted to make a movie, and he was like, let's make a movie.
Cool.
And he didn't get paid extra. It was on his downtime.
Yeah.
And as a kid, you don't understand that that's like a big deal.
Yeah.
Right? You're just like, oh yeah, this teacher's helping us, I guess.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I got to be a teacher that I was like, man, that guy went above and beyond.
It's cool.
And I think he just continues to go above and beyond all the time for his kids. And they appreciate it. They love him.
Good.
Yeah.
They should. He works hard. I know that yearbook is a lot of work. Especially
since I feel like across the board, kids are becoming less involved in activities. And so I know like the onus of the work is getting put more and more on the teachers themselves. Yeah. And I think he's feeling that.
Tell him to use AI.
I'm going to have an aneurysm, I think.
It's funny.
But
cool.
Yeah.
Well, do you have any shout outs or anything?
I would like to thank the Academy. No. Shout out to my mom. She's always been like an amazing supporter of not just me, but of students, of education, of theater. Like if we don't get something dedicated to my mom in San Juan County, it will be an absolute travesty.
Well, we could probably make it happen.
Yeah.
We just got to figure out what it is.
Right. And then
because she's been around my pretty much whole life, and anytime I've ever ran into her, she's got a smile and a hug for me. You know, I mean, what more could you ask for?
Yeah, no, and I get annoyed, right? Like, I love kids, but they annoy the hell out of me.
Sure.
Right? I get home and I'm like, oh, right? She's always been like, we should adopt them. Like, I can't tell you how many kids, like, growing up, I was like, I'm yours. I'm enough. And she was like, no, let's adopt this one, or let's like bring him into the fold. Like and you know, she's retired and come back. I can't tell you how many times, and it's because she loves children, and she wants to work hard for their success. And you know, I wish I was the teacher my mom was.
Sure.
And yeah, so she needs something, man. But yeah, so shout out to my mom, shout out to my wife, who doesn't complain that I don't come home sometimes because I'm spending so many long hours at the theater, and to my son, our kid, because I miss his baseball games sometimes for rehearsals, and you know, that's never fun. And shout out to you guys. Honestly, everybody who does theater in this area, because theater in this area is not as easy as doing theater in other areas. Right? Like, the arts, I think the arts community is stronger in Farmington than it is in Aztec, most definitely. But even then, like, it's not, you know, it's not Chicago, it's not Portland, it's not Santa Fe. Even
Durango.
Right.
That's 40 minutes away from us. I mean,
exactly.
They got a real big art community there compared to here.
Absolutely. So shout out to everybody who continues to be scrappy.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard. And
I think we'll never run out of stories to tell. Right. So I think that's what's going to carry film, and that's what will carry theater.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even if we're doing it in someone's backyard with porch lighting, like, there's still stories that need to be heard.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of people think that theater arose out of oral storytelling.
Yeah.
And so, although there's a lot of different theories, I like that one.
Yeah. I don't know that I've ever subscribed to really how theater started.
I used to teach theater history courses.
Yeah.
I loved theater history courses.
That's good. I never was a fan of them.
No. I had Dr. William Storm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you did too.
Yeah.
And that man made me fall in love with theater history, zeitgeist.
Yeah.
Like, I share the word zeitgeist. At my desk at the middle school, I told the kids that he said zeitgeist. He loved the word zeitgeist. And now I love the word zeitgeist because of him. I love that everyone's just a collection of the people in their life that has made an impact, right?
Yeah.
And I had a kid drew a ghost for me, because zeitgeist means time ghost, right?
Yeah.
Wearing like a big like rapper style chain clock, right? This ghost, it says zeitgeist at the bottom, and I keep it. And yes, no, I love theater history.
Yeah,
but I like research. So.
I don't.
No.
His class scared me. He
Really?
had this reputation of like he was so serious, and probably his class was the lowest grade I got in any of my theater classes.
Oh wow!
Just because I don't know. I've never been a real strong reader. I've never been into it that much. So having to,
that would be hard.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. His classes were super reading heavy.
Yeah. But he was good, and he's a really kind man, so I don't know.
Rest in peace.
Yes.
Where do all the good ones go?
I don't know. And it's crazy being at NMSU. Like, we were down there for state this past year, and there's no OG. Everybody's gone that was around when we were there.
Yeah, because Ruth Cantrell moved to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny, my mom was in her first theater education class, and I was in her last theater education class. It was a fun little cyclical moment. Tom Smith went to somewhere else.
I think he's in Texas too.
Oh, was he in Texas? Why is everyone going to Texas? The Billingses, I think they retired. Deb retired.
They're still in Cruces though.
Are they?
I think.
I don't know. I love Jim and his rabbits in his sets.
Yes.
That was super fun. Tim Pino went to Eastern, and I don't know what he's doing now, because I don't think he's at Eastern still.
Yeah. Mike Wise.
Love Mike Wise. What is he doing?
I have no idea.
We don't know.
That's pretty much it.
Ski?
No.
Ski scared me.
Yeah.
Ski ran over my bicycle. I was a freshman. It was like the third week of school, and I was taking costume construction, and you know the little loading dock? You had the costume shop, and they had a door, and then there was like the big, you know, and I had my bicycle, and I just put it in the loading dock, and I didn't know any better. Nobody told me not to. There weren't any signs posted. Nothing happened. And Ski came into the costume shop and he was like, whose bike's out there? And I was like, it's mine. He goes, well, I just ran it over. And I was like, what? And he'd run over my bicycle. Oh, he was funny. And his wife would make all of his shirts. I remember that. And he always had cool shirts.
That's crazy.
And then Dave, who also worked in the scene shop. I'll say this for Ski, though. I, slit my finger. you can see the scar. I, almost cut the tip of my finger off with a box cutter because I'm that talented. And he was great. He sat with me in the student health center. He was mad at me the whole time.
Sure.
But, totally took on this, very, gruff parental role. And, it was great. Yeah.
Well, thank you for being on. I appreciate you coming in and doing the podcast with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This has been great.
Yeah.
I was a little nervous, but this was fun.
No.
This was a great time.
We'll get you on again, maybe during the school year before you guys open a show or something.
Oh yeah, I'd love that.
Like
I said, I'm not great at the advertising, so.
We'll make sure that, we're ahead of your deadline before you come back in.
Thanks.
Cool.
This is awesome.
Yeah. A reminder of a few upcoming events. Heather McGoy Teen Voices presents Footloose Youth Edition, hitting the stage October 1st through 3rd. Registration is still open, with opportunities for stage management and technical theater. Scholarships are available. Film Four Corners is hosting a filmmakers meetup with Zia Drone Operations on Friday, August 21st at the Tota Theater, beginning at 6 p.m. Four Corners Musical Theater presents Jekyll and Hyde the Musical, October 22nd through November 1st at the Farmington Civic Center. Theater Ensemble Arts presents Dracula, a Comedy of Terrors, on September 25th, 26th, and October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Piedra Vista High School Theater presents Midsummer Jersey, October 15th, 16th, and 17th at the Toronto Crispin Performing Arts Theater.
A special thank you to our sponsors, Unsicker Law and Industrial Data Management. If you would like to sponsor this podcast, please email us.